Hey everyone, and welcome to another edition of my live tea tasting. It's been an interesting week, and I have an interesting flavor for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and start this water right now because, I am ready to go. Now, this is a flavor that I have had before. I've had very little of it, very little experience, but I mean, this one, oh, got something in my eye. This one is very close to my heart, and I'll explain why in just a little bit. Um, but today's flavor is it's out of focus. There we go. Today's flavor is Genmai cha, and this is going to be an excellent, amazing one. So I'm going to start by opening up the pouch. I can't wait to get this thing started. This one, I've learned a lot of interesting little tidbits here and there, which I'm going to talk about. But while Rick, what's up? Welcome. I'm going to get. Ooh, it even looks very interesting. All right, I'm going to. I'm going to smell it real quick, and this thing is it's very interesting. I've never had a tea like it on the stream before, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about it. The reason why this is so interesting is because Genmai cha actually has popped rice in it. It's kind of like popcorn. It's actually got little pieces of rice and popped rice in it that kind of looks like popcorn. It's toasted, very nutty. So I'm going to pour a little bit out. Oh, I'm going to pour a little bit more out because I like to have it strong. There we go. So I'm going to show you guys in just a little bit what it looks like. It's a very, very interesting tea. In which case, I'm going to light it up a little bit. I always forget to turn on the light. Now I'm going to show you guys. This is actually a Japanese tea, and you can tell there's a difference. First of all, look at the color of that green. That's a very, very deep green. Unlike Chinese green teas, Japanese has a very deep, dark color. Generally, it's grown by the seawater, so you get more of a sea salt kind of taste to it. If you notice, I'm going to dig in a little bit so that you can see more of the tea itself. It's very straight edge. It's very stiff looking. That's just the way that it's processed. As you can see, it's got like the toasted rice, little popped kernels and stuff like that. And that's what's going to give it the interesting flavor. I'm going to take out a couple of the leaves if I can grab some. There we go. So as you can see, the leaves are very straight. They're very stiff. You can tell the difference between a Japanese tea and a Chinese tea, because Chinese teas tend to curl. They tend to twist. But this one is very straight, very green, and very. It's almost like a pine needle. Hey Tracy, welcome. If it was like it's I'll even show you. I'll even show you this way. It's so stiff. It kind of, you see the way it's poking into my skin. That is, ow! It's actually slightly painful. It's like an actual needle that pricks your skin a little bit. So the water's done. Being that this is a green tea, I'm going to steep it as such at 180 degrees rather than the general 212 that I steep black teas in. There we go. Now the scent, I forgot to mention, the scent is very distinct, in which it's got that really salty scent, kind of a seawater scent to it. Why am I out of focus? Come on, right there. Hey. Oh no, that's not supposed to happen. There we go. I'm back in focus, but it gave you a shot of my dresser for a minute. Channel, welcome. Anyway, like I was saying, it's got like a very sea salty taste to it, a very sea salty smell. It smells like the beach. Um, Generally, when you have that kind of a flavor in a tea, it can be overpowering, and it takes a little bit of getting used to because generally green teas are a lot softer. They taste a little bit grassier. But Japanese teas have that sea salt, seaweed kind of flavor to it, and it's really, really nice once you get used to it. I forgot to set my clock. I'm doing it for 3 minutes. I'm gonna understeep it a little bit for 2 because I lost count of of the time. You can tell it's been a while since I did a tea stream. I'm a little bit out of practice, but that's okay. You guys will forgive me. But anyway, like I was saying, you know what? I'm gonna take out. I didn't get to show you guys. I showed you the leaves, but I didn't get to show you the popped rice. Let me just reach in there a little bit. Oh, with my big fingers. There we go. Oh, and of course I pull out all leaves. Just gotta reach in there. Oh, Crackhead says it's time to unsteep. I'm gonna give it another couple seconds or so while I pull this out. Well, I was able to pull out a little piece of popped rice. Hey, Princess, welcome, welcome. I have got the popped rice, and it's a very, very big piece. You can see, very profound. And it even looks like popcorn. See? Really, really, it's a really beautiful piece, actually, if you ask me. I'm gonna eat it because it's edible, and it tastes like rice cake. And it's really, really, really soft flavor. All right, I'm gonna pull out the basket. I got it stuck in my teeth already. Oh, but it tastes so good. When I first drank it, I thought it was popcorn. But it's not. It's the actual popped rice. I mean, you can't blame me. It's easy mistake to make. Nicole, welcome. But if you take a look at it looks like, well, you know what? I'm going to shake it a little bit so that the water comes out. I've got it under my cup. So you can see all that toasted brown rice on there. Very delicious. And that smell is overpowering everything. Like, all I can smell right now is the toasted rice, and it's giving me a lot of, it's giving me an appetite, for real. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the culture and the origins of Genmai cha, which is very interesting. It used to be called the People's Tea. Now, the reason why it's called the People's Tea is because back in the day, tea of that caliber was very expensive. So only the high class would drink it, royalty, and the rich and stuff like that. Oh yeah, it's very interesting, and the scent is very distinct. It's kind of like it's kind of toasty, and it's very savory. But yeah, so it was only drinking in large quantities by the rich. So it was really uncommon for poor people to drink it. Well, they decided that they wanted to market a new recipe that could be sold to the people. So what they would do is they would put toasted rice in it as a filler. That way, it kind of supposed to have been lessen the quality by polluting the tea, making it cheaper, and making it so that the rich wouldn't drink it, but the poor would. But that kind of worked in their favor because the poor started to acquire a taste, and as they drank it, it became more and more popular. So Genmai cha became like the people's tea. It had certain qualities that made it more desirable. For instance, when people of like religious factions would start fasting, they would drink Genmai cha because they couldn't eat the rice, but they could drink it. They could get their protein, well, not protein from rice, but they can get their nutrients from the rice without physically eating it. So it became a very, very popular tea amongst the poor, and it eventually evolved into a greater culture, which now it's one of the more high-end teas. So I'm going to go ahead and pour some of this out. Whoops, popped it a little bit. Oh, look at that color. It's a really green tea. It's usually when I have a green tea, it's more on the side of pale yellow. But this one is a greener green because of the processing that it goes through with there we go, in the Japanese way of processing it. So I'm going to show you guys. Look at that. It looks very, very yellow, but in person it's more of a green kind of tone to it. So what do you mean by cheating? Cheating who? I'm not cheating. Okay, so I'm going to take my first sip, and I'll tell you why this flavor is near and dear to my heart, because it's got a certain quality that I'm about to talk about right now. Oh, it's all that toasted rice. Oh, I can smell. Oh, yes. I have been missing that flavor for a while. I'm going to have a little bit more. Ah, it's a very salty, savory kind of taste to it. That toasted rice is very profound in it, and it dulls, like, generally Japanese tea is very salty, like I mentioned before, but the rice kind of offsets it, so it's a very delicate. It goes from that they can't eat the rice, so they drink it. Yeah, oh, I see. Yeah, that's basically it. But I mean, it's rice flavored, and it's really, really good. In fact, that's part of why it's near and dear to my heart, because it tastes like begao. Begao is the Puerto Rican word for when you cook white rice in an iron pot. Some of it gets kind of burnt, sticky, and sticks to the side of the pot. Traditionally, you would scrape it off the pot and serve it just like the rest of the rice. And it's really crispy, and it's one of my favorite flavors. So this always reminds me of Grandma's rice, and she used to have this gigantic, like, huge pot, like I believe it was like an iron pot or something like that, and she would make about 10 tons of rice a day, and it would be overflowing, and she would just pour it out. She would serve it on the plates. Like, we used to have these really big plates. Grandpa would always, like, have his giant plate with either fish or steak, something like that. But rice was a constant. So whenever I drink this, I think of Grandma's rice with a pot, and nothing is ever gonna replace that pot, man. I swear. Now once again I went back to not sweetening the tea, so I get a more authentic flavor for you guys. This has been this is actually enhanced by not having sugar in it, because the sugar will take away from the flavor. It'll take away from it'll sweeten the salt, and for something like this, you don't want to do that. You want to keep it salty, savory, and toasty. It's slightly smoky, not like last week's lapsang, but rather you have this kind of like, it tastes like a rice cake. For those of you who have had it, some people don't like it. I get why, because it's basically tasteless. But when you add the salt from the tea into it, it adds a certain quality that's really hard to pinpoint. Oh, excuse me. It's really hard to pinpoint what exactly it is that gives it that that flavor. It's hard to describe unless you've had a rice cake. Um, in which case, you guys know what I'm talking about. You have like a very soft, crispy kind of flavor to it, and it works out well for this because you have like the green tea and the rice. That's just it's a very interesting flavor. It's very unique. Hmm. Oh, and I'm slurping again. I swear, every time I drink, I get like this feeling of nostalgia, and it's I love this thing. I was last time I had that. Well, I don't want to say last time I've had it for the first time, because I have had it one other time. A friend of mine had given me a sample, and I it was at work at the time. I drank it, not really thinking much of it. It had an interesting flavor, but it wasn't from Adagio. It was from David's, so it wasn't a really authentic kind of flavor to it. It was salty, um, but I don't know what they do to their teas exactly. They add a little something to it that makes it a little sweet, um, but it tastes kind of artificial. It's a little bit difficult to describe, but I guess the best adjective would be to call it artificial, which isn't always a bad thing. I prefer the fresh organic stuff, um, but to each their own. But when I had that artificial taste, and I sweetened it. I made the mistake of sweetening it, so it was good, but it wasn't as good as this. When I had the sample at Adagio a couple months ago, it brought everything back, and it brought the ideas back. Like right away, I was thinking about Grandma, and I was with a friend of mine, Vanna. She was a friend from New York, um, and we both, like, when we drank it, was like, oh, this is so good. We both had that nostalgia moment. Was, you want to try some fish and pinch of ground pepper in it? That actually sounds really good because the salt of the pepper would give it a nice little kick. That, you know what? That might be a good idea. I can figure out a way to make a fish soup, or I don't think a chicken soup would go well with it. It may. I don't know. I'll have to think about it, but it is very brothy. I think that would go well if I were to make rice. Well, of course the rice, because the toasted rice. But like if I were to infuse the rice with the Genmai cha, I get like a double pegao taste. That might be like a pegao papao. That's what, that would be. That's something I'm gonna think about. But yeah, a little bit of pepper, a little bit if you season it just right. That is a good idea. Thanks. I'm gonna totally do that. I still have some rice actually. I can make like a rice soup. Put a little bit of rice, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of fish. Do you think you'd actually want to make rice flavored with this? Out of curiosity, I think I would. Because I mean it's already got rice in it, and you'll double the flavor. Maybe I would mix it also with something else, like a genmai cha with maybe some jasmine. We'll see. Have a little bit of the savory mixed in with the perfumy silkiness of jasmine. That might be. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm all down for it. Shaylin, welcome. So I lost my train of thought. Like I'm going through all of these recipes. If I'm gonna do it as a soup, I've never made a soup with tea before. And that sounds very interesting. I don't know. I would definitely try it, unless you count ramen. Generally, ramen can go either way. I have infused Actually, no, it wasn't ramen. It was linguine that I had infused tea with. Veggies for sure. Veggies for sure goes well with the rice. Maybe steam them. You get a nice little what's the word I'm looking for? You get a nice little base to it. That could work. Here I am, like I'm doing a stream and I'm like going through all of these recipe options. It's typical. I'm a total guy. I gotta talk about food. You know what I'm saying? Mm. Oh man, this is so good. And it's not overpowering. Like I'm getting a little bit warm, but it's not too strong, you know? Like generally when I do a tea stream in the summer, I'm sweating like a hog. I'm like "Ugh." Now I have like this little slight dew on my forehead, but it's not too shabby. I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying this flavor for it. I'm having a hard time not drinking it. Mm. And the way that I just noticed this, like I tend to when I drink it, I tend to hold it in my mouth just a little bit just to savor it, and it happens by maybe instinct I want to call it, um, but it's really got this kind of this flavor that you want to savor for just a moment or two, and really take in the essence of it, the softness, the saltiness of the tea. Um, you have like a cracker kind of taste to it, like a cracker kind of mouthfeel. You want to drink this with some sort of sweet treat to balance it, or savory. Um, what will it pair well with? Um, this isn't the kind of a I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't do anything sweet with it. I would keep it savory. Maybe crackers. Um, I mean, this is definitely like a dinner kind of tea. Um, it's not it's not dessert. It's not very. I mean, it's caffeinated. If you could find maybe eggs, I would drink this with fried eggs, a little bit of bacon. Um, well, I don't know. Bacon might offset the salt a little bit. I would go with maybe a turkey bacon, which is slightly less salty. Generally, I don't like turkey, but I can tolerate turkey bacon. Veggies for sure. Steamed vegetables will go well with this. You could probably even infuse the veggies with the tea itself. You know, you get the steam as it penetrates into the vegetables and it makes its way in there. Um, that might be if I had a steamer, I'd probably do that as well. It's worth a shot. Yeah, that's a little something to think about. I'm looking over because it's like, yeah, I can go for it. Mm. Mongolian barbecue. That might be very good because it's got like that. Well, it depends on what you eat for breakfast. Unless you're talking about like an English breakfast tea where it's nothing like that. But Mongolian barbecue, it'll probably go well with the sauce. Get yourself like pork or beef, something with a heavy taste to it. It'll pair well with this. If you were to eat something with a lighter taste, um, it would still be more profound, but it would like the food would probably get a little bit lost in it. I'll have to check out that link later because I don't know. I can't really check it now, but I will go back after the stream. As a matter of fact, um, you can probably message me. Yeah, send that link to me on my private message, and I'll take a look at that later. I'm assuming that that's either like a recipe or like a soup or something, but I'll see for myself. Uh, Grill top stir fry. That would actually with the vegetables and the meat. Yeah, that's right. It could go well. You could probably Yeah, you know what? You could probably stir fry the tea actually in it, because tea leaves are edible. So you got that with the rice in it already, and then everything that you would normally put in with the with the rice. Hmm. That you bring up an interesting point because you can actually cook it in the tea. I that's giving me something to think about. Because I mean, like the sauces would loosen up the leaves a bit. I'll have to look into that. But that does sound very delicious. Mm. As a matter of fact, I want to dig in here a little bit, get some of that rice out. You guys, look at how big those kernels got. It's nice and toasty. When you, it's kind of squishy. It actually feels like wet Rice Krispies, but not soggy. Was that? It's the rice taste without the carbs. I mean, technically, yeah, but you do get the carbs only because you're actually drinking the rice water. You don't get all the carbs, but you get some of them. And now for the taste, because honestly, it's just rice. It's oh, that's good. I'm gonna eat some more of it. This is oh yeah, less carbs. Oh, this is good. It tastes like begao but soggy, and that sounds very like for everybody who has loved begao for like all their lives. That probably sounds like nasty to them because begao is generally crispy, and you know it's harder. It's kind of like in the realm of cracker but slightly softer. But to have soggy pegao, just the taste. Oh, I'm trying to pull out more of just the rice. No, don't fall. Ooh, that's good. That one, that one was toasted almost to perfection, where it wasn't all that soggy. So I got like that texture of the pegao that I love so much. Oh my god, like I really want to run upstairs right now and make some rice just for the pegao. But yeah, I mean like this stuff it's good to eat. We get some of that leaf in there. Mm. It is a rice type of day, and horchata is the way to go. They actually started making a horchata tea. Horchata. I'm trying to do it correct. Horchata, with the rolling R. Horchata. But anyway, yeah, that is the way to go. They have an horchata tea at Adagio that they started making. It's really good. I highly recommend it. Mm. Whew, I'm starting to get a little bit it's starting to affect me now. I'm like getting a little bit hot. You can see I'm starting to sweat a little bit, but it's kind of just muggy in general. Like it was raining for the past couple days, so it's gonna be a little bit humid for a while. Oh, I'm shiny over here. But yeah. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I got the hiccups. Anyway, so I'm gonna open up the floor. You guys have any questions? Anything you wanna ask? What is it? When did they make that? It's probably been maybe 2 months. I want to say. They opened up a tea menu where you can order any tea to go that you want, but now they have specialized mixes that that they make. They have one with what was it? Blueberry. It's like blueberry midnight or something like that. Um, they have horchata. They have trying to remember what it was. It was a green one. But yeah, I mean they have like a whole new menu of like maybe 6 or 8, I think. Six, between 6 and 12. I'm gonna keep that window open. But they have about 6 or 12 new recipes. Well, new blends that they make specifically for people who want to drink on the go. Yes, that is how I feel. I got the heart eyes. I can't do a heart, half heart, because my other hand is is uh is holding the phone, so it's half heart. Boom, 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 boom. That it's good. It's been a while since you've gone there. So this is maybe something that we should go. Yes, I was just about to suggest that we'll go tomorrow. Was that if the tea is cooked other ways apart from boiling hot water through frying or roasting, does the amount of caffeine in it change? Yes, it does. Um, when you boil it, the water contains the caffeine um, that that it has. Um, but I mean, there's a lot of things that can take out the caffeine to begin with. Air, keep leaving it out in the air does that. Cooking it, if you were to roast it, if you were to fry it, it escapes the leaf, but you still get the leaf taste. Miriam, welcome. It still has the flavor, but the caffeine does leave into the oil and into whatever it is that you're cooking in. Stir fry might be the only difference, because if you're stirring it, you're pouring it out over the rice and you're keeping the oils in, rather than regular frying it where you fry and then you take it out of the oil for the most part. But in stir fry, you just pour the whole thing in, so it's not gonna take it out as much, but the heat will take some of it out. So the caffeine content does change depending on how it's prepared. Well, hello, dinner. I'm actually having a dinner tea myself. This one is for those of you who are joining, Miriam, who's late. Anyway, it's got toasted rice in it. I don't know if you've ever had Vanna's Pegao, but it's on point. It's a very toasty kind of smoky flavor to it. It tastes like rice cake, only not, and it's edible. And I'm only doing this not just to show you, but the fact that it tastes really, really good. See, you guys, I have it in my hand. It's edible and it's delicious. Wow. Mmm. Oh, so good. It tastes kind of like if you cooked Rice Krispies. You would get that kind of a flavor to it, and it's excellent. Oh, I gotta drink a little bit of that down, because the tea leaf is stuck right under my tongue. Mm. Oh, there it is. It's there. Anyway, don't judge you. What is it? Shopping had to. Oh, okay. So you were out adulting. Yeah, a likely story. Anyway, I need to drink some more of this because I have that leaf still stuck there. Mm. Oh, it's so good. I'm gonna top myself off because this needs to happen. Now it's starting to there we go. It's starting to cool off a little bit, and as it does, the salt gets a little bit saltier. It gets more profound. Was it now you want Rice Krispies with this in it? I think that would be a good idea. I mean, it's basically like Rice Krispies and toasted Rice Krispies. I mean, unless you start going into the realm of like Cocoa Krispies, you're gonna you're gonna have issues, because at that point it's just like, you don't wanna mix the smokiness of the toast with the Rice Krispies and the sweetness of the chocolate. I was talking about that before. This is not the kind of tea that you would want to sweeten. This is the kind of tea that you would want to have full. Well, you know, if we're gonna be, oh no, we're not gonna be at the Loop. I was gonna suggest that we could just go to Adagio and get some, but well, it depends on where we go after Community Day. We'll see. I don't have any bags, any tea bags with me. We'll see. If not, I'll just bring you a bag next time. But yeah, I recommend this. It's really, really savory. As a matter of fact, I brought the lapsang to work today, and I got a new fan. One of my coworkers, I asked her if she was brave, and she said yes. And I gave her a bag of the lapsang, and she was like, "This is good." It's like, yeah, I know it's an acquired taste, but by the same token, I gave it to another coworker whose reaction was literally, bah! So, she was here before, Tracy. I don't know if she's still here. Tracy, if you're here, you can definitely attest to that. She just sniffed it and went, bah! So, it's not for everyone, but it's good for some. I'm waiting on one more person to be brave enough to drink it. Technicalities. Oh, bring you Rice Krispies. I can bring you Rice Krispies treats. I mean, those they sell at the store. The Genmai cha might be a little bit more difficult. Actually, I might have an idea. I am going to, if I remember, I'm going to bring you some. Yeah, I can. I forgot. Yeah, I can do that. Okay, I'm gonna bring you a sample on Sunday, but I'm gonna need the little tin back because it's part of a set. I'll show you. It's something that I had gotten for Christmas. Thank you very much, Nicole and Shanna. Where it's an advent calendar, and it's got a whole bunch of samples. There, it's got little tins. So I just realized how I'm gonna get you some of this sample, and I'm just gonna need that back for the set because I'm planning on doing something with this particular calendar thing later on. So yeah, I just lost my train of thought for a second, but that's okay. Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna drink a little bit more, and I'm going through this tea a little bit faster than normal, but that's okay because I'm really, really loving it. Generally, when I stream, you guys know the pot stays usually lasts throughout the entire stream. This one, it's going a little bit faster than normal, which isn't good because like it's like I'm ahead of schedule as far as tea content is concerned. But that's all well and good. I'm just gonna keep on going, and I'm really trying not to finish it off. It does taste better when it's hot. Now that it's cooling off, it's kind of like just salty water, but it's not as what's what I'm looking for. It's not as Greg, what's up? Welcome. It's not as what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's not as heavily salted as ocean water is, but it's like that soft popcorny kind of salt to it. And Greg, you're just in time. You're gonna love this tea. It tastes like Grandma's rice. You remember Grandma used to make that rice with a big pot, and you like have the little pegao, like the toasted rice on top. That's what this is. It tastes so good. Like, I can drink this all day. I wouldn't recommend drinking it iced. It's too savory for that. I would recommend drinking it hot. It is caffeinated. Um, Probably for a lunch or a dinner, an early dinner if you are sensitive to caffeine. Luckily, I'm not, so I can drink this and be fine, um, sleeping through the night. But yeah, this stuff is, oh, I'm loving it. Really, really am. Yup, you remember Grandma used to make that big iron pot. It was like bigger than the stove some days. Yo, that man, I used to love that. So would this pair with a nice vegan meal? It depends on the way that it's prepared. We were talking about putting it with stir fry before. So if you were like stir fry vegetables, it would absolutely go well with that. Um, what else? We were talking about having it with soup. So if you were like making a soup with vegetables, some rice, maybe yeah, like even some tofu would go well with it. I would definitely pair it with that. We were talking about cooking it in the actual food, which would be it would be very nice. The only thing is that while I was eating some of it, the green tea itself, the Japanese tea, tasted slightly bitter. So perhaps I wouldn't recommend Zoop. Yeah, that's exactly it. No, I wouldn't. I might retract my statement about cooking the tea in the actual stir fry. But it would go well if you were to. Oh, you're allergic to tofu? Oh yeah, soy. Yeah, me too. Well, I'm not allergic to tofu, but I am allergic to soy milk. I don't know how that works, but it works. But yeah, I would probably retract my statement from eating the actual tea, just because it's flavor wise. You're eating it, and it's got like a bitter taste to it. But if you can separate the toasted rice from that, you would be golden. Like it's really really good. Um, and then you could just steep the rice in the steamed vegetables. Um, yeah, I don't see why not, unless you don't mind the bitter taste, because like I said before, it is tea leaves, and they are edible. I'm gonna have a little bit more, just because it really tastes good. Was it deglazing liquid for the stir fry? Yeah, I could see that. I'm gonna get a little bit more because this stuff is like it's really hard to put down. The last time I did this was with that peach. Which what was it? Peach tea. Was it peach Bellini? I want to say. I think that was the one that I was eating. Um, but yeah, I mean to this day it was candy. It was like if that was candy, this is dinner. Like I'm just eating this toasted rice like right out of the infuser. And I mean it's healthy. It's got a little bit of carbs, but all rice does. That's okay because I mean you drink if you as you drink it, you don't drink the full carbs. You drink the flavor of the rice that's paired with the saltiness of the Japanese tea, and you get a really excellent flavor. Ooh, I'm gonna drink some more. I know that this is not gonna last me until winter, but I think that this is the kind of tea that I'm gonna come home to, and I'm going to use uh, my I don't even know what it's called, like the heating metal thing. You guys have seen it before. I'll show you real quick. Oh, it's still got a candle in there too. Yeah, this thing. I love this thing in the winter because you just light the candle and it keeps the tea hot for hours. Like no joke, one time I left it going on and it was about maybe 4 or 5 hours and the tea was nice and hot. But I'll show you real quick. Yep, there we go. It's cast iron, very heavy. You put the tea candle in there. Uh, no, this is the diffuser. This is the strainer. You put the tea candle in here, and then you put this on top, and you let it sit, and the tea warms the pot, and it keeps it nice and warm for a couple of hours. Excellent. I mean, that one time it happened, it was by accident because I was drinking the tea and I put it down, and I forgot it was there. But after I remembered, I was like, "Oh, it's the tea," and I poured it out. And it was still nice and hot. So that was a really good investment. I have to say. Although I don't know if that's like spilled tea or there's like some sort of glaze on top. I need to clean it off. But that's all right. I don't know if it's tea or if it's wax from the candle. Like maybe as it evaporates, it hits the bottom of the pot, and as it cools, it drips onto the metal tin, not the metal tin, the iron, and then like just waxes and it reforms. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna have to clean it either way. So, you guys have any questions? Anything you want to ask? Anything you want to talk about? I'm opening up the floor. You guys, it's talking to me is great. It keeps me going, and it keeps you guys interested. It lets me know that I'm doing this for people who are really interested. So yeah. Give me all of your questions, everything that you have. If I don't know it, I'll just make it up. No, I'm just kidding. If I don't know it, I'll research. I might have to get back to you later. I don't know. Depends. But we'll see. I'm gonna drink a little bit right now because it's starting to get a little bit cold, and I don't want it to chill out too much. Because then it'll end on a sour note, and I don't want to do that. Mm. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's got an interesting mouthfeel. Now that it's cooling, I can taste the starch. I guess that's the starch, right? When you eat the rice, you have that softness in your mouth. It's got like that starchiness in the water now, and it to me it makes it more savory. It makes you want to eat more, and that's what it's doing to me right now. Like I want to eat more. I'm resisting the urge, but tomorrow I am going to go out and have something with rice in it. that's just the end of it. I have to, because this thing it's really giving me a taste for grandma's cooking, and may she rest in peace. That's one of the main things that I miss about her. She was an excellent cook. But yeah, it's like it's bringing some nostalgic. What was it? If you cooked rice or mashed potatoes in the tea, how do you think it would come out? I was actually talking about that before. How I was thinking about infusing the rice and getting like a double pegao kind of flavor to it. A jibarito stop it is. Okay, yeah, that'll be good. I haven't had jibaritos in a while, but I was talking about the pegao getting like a double hit, so I was calling it like the pegao papao. So you get like that savoriness of the rice, and then again with the tea, I think it'll go well. I don't know how it would go with mashed potatoes, because mashed potatoes itself has a strong. I don't want to say like a really really strong taste, but how do I put this? It's very similar to rice because it's all starch. Oh, excuse me. So you're not gonna get that more profound taste that you would with, say, like Whoops, I gotta figure out how to turn off those weather alerts because they are super annoying. You've never had a hibarito. Well then, yes, we are going to have a hibarito because oh, they're so good. Just prepare it. Prepare yourself. I haven't had one in a while either, so it's about time. Well, you were cooking during that portion. Well, yeah, you were, and that's okay. I don't mind repeating myself. It's good to repeat. But yeah, like if you were to diffuse the rice with this tea, I think that it would be a very good addition to it. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna keep some, and I'm gonna reserve it just to make rice. So we'll see. Probably like this week, I'll make some and I'll let you guys know. Um, yeah, I'm resolving to do that, just out of pure experimentation. My curiosity is piqued. But I think that it would be a good idea, and I'll let you guys know. Oh, so we got any other questions? I'm starting to run a little low, a little prematurely, but that's okay. Ooh, I'm almost an hour in. It's right now. I'm 52 minutes in, so like I have 8 minutes to go to hit that hour mark. And I mean, I'm not married to the hour. Some of my streams have gone shorter. Some of them have gone longer. But I always try to hit that hour mark just to know that my stream was very informative. It was as thoroughly covered as it should be. Because I try to make this experience well-rounded for everybody involved. But yeah, anyway. So you guys have any questions, anything you want to talk about, just throw it at me. I'm open. I might as well, let me see, because I don't really have any announcements per se. I have more ideas that I want to cover, and as a matter of fact, I thought of something over the week that I really want to try. So we'll see how that goes. It's going to be I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to spoil it or not. You know what? Yeah, I'll hold off just a little bit. I'll probably do it in a week or two. But yeah, I'll do it in a week or two. Upcoming things on the Facebook page. I'm still testing the that program that does the raffles. Congratulations once again to Mickerdoodles, who won last month's prize. So she got the credit to Adagio. This time around, I want to put up my own blends. So stay tuned. Probably by the end of next month, I'll have another raffle, and one of you guys can win a one of the 3-ounce bags of your choice. So that's what I'm leaning towards. Because the last one it went pretty well. But I'm looking to get more people involved. I'm looking to get more people who entered in. The last time I think like only 5 people did. I want to start drumming up new interest. So to everybody who entered in, thank you. For everybody who is going to enter in, if you didn't last time, now's the time to get involved because the prizes are getting it's getting a little bit better. That's it as far as announcements are concerned. Go ahead and throw me a couple questions while I finish up my tea. I have maybe 3 or 4 sips left. We'll see. Unless I were to gulp it down, which is very tempting with this tea. Oh, that's good. Like I haven't done this in a while, so my throat is a little bit sore. But that tea is starting to it's soothing it a little bit. because of the starch, like that starchy mouthfeel. It's going all the way down here, so it's coating my throat a little bit, which I'm grateful for. Oh, almost there. Whew. One more sip. Last call for questions, comments, anything. Do I have well, my sister, she usually asks that famous question, what kind of dessert would this go with? Like I said before, it's not a very sweet tea. It's too savory to like really pair with anything sweet. So maybe I would say something like crackers. What else? Crackers, saltines, I would say, along those lines. Maybe bread and butter, toast and butter, maybe. Something buttery. I don't know what's chug it. Okay, I'll do that. There's not a whole lot left to chug, but I'll just go ahead and do it. Oh, that was so good. All right, guys. I guess I'm gonna call it a night. So next week, I have a few options of what I want to do. Cheese and crackers. The cheese, it would depend on what you use. I wouldn't use a very strong kind of cheese to it. I think maybe along the lines of cheddar might be pushing it a little bit, but anything lighter than that, I would go with maybe a mozzarella. Crumpets, that sounds good. I still have yet to eat a crumpet. I have not had crumpets yet. But, oh, excuse me. That is something to look forward to. And I'm fighting the hiccups, but they're winning. Oh. Okay, I think it's done. Ooh, I hate it when that happens. I'm battling. Swallow it down. Okay. Is that good? Yeah, that's good. Alright, anyway. I'm out of tea, and I'm out of time, so I will see you guys next week. I'll announce my next flavor once I have an idea of what it is. It's probably going to be on Thursday. And I guess I'll see you guys then. So have a good night, have a great weekend, and I will see you later. Bye.